Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, an easy way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving comment or comments, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And as always, please watch out for the robots in the comment section who are pretending to be me. There's like 1,000 of them. I can't stop them. They keep multiplying because I guess that's what robots do. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. There's not a lot of price news today, which is actually kind of interesting. I mean, the market's like sideways up down. If you've been here before, you know what that means. It's like moving sideways, and any up or any down is like only by 0.5% or 1%. I think Ethereum is the like best or biggest gainer at this point. It says Ethereum gains pace while Bitcoin and altcoins struggle. There's no real like struggle. I think the most down coin, at least at the time of me making this video, is Dogecoin, and that's because of you would not believe the amount of stuff happening on I was watching like interviews on Yahoo Finance and all these other things, and the people, what they have to say about Dogecoin. I mean, most of it is true, like it is a meme coin, but there are a lot of people who are quite upset that Dogecoin moved up while Bitcoin was stagnating, I guess is going to be the word. It says Ethereum price prediction. Ethereum makes incredible strides towards $2,550. Once again, I think that's like $60 away from where we currently are. So I don't understand people who write these articles talking about price predictions and it's like, can it rise by $60 more? I have no idea if it's going to be able to do it. Ethereum's very popular. It's going to be popular for a very long time. I've been seeing a lot of articles with people trying to bash Ethereum or saying that this protocol is better. Yes. We understand that these other protocols may be quicker or faster or more robust to have more transactions per second, but that's not what people care about. It's the actual security of the network, and I don't know how many times I have to stress that. Maybe a bajillion more times until people actually get it. Same exact thing with Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin's slow. The amount of people on Twitter who keep posting and writing articles, there was something which we're going to also get to in this video. People keep writing, hey, we're going to be accepting Bitcoin. Hey, Bitcoin's going to be on our balance sheet. Hey, Bitcoin's going to be so-and-so. We're thinking about adding Bitcoin. And people are like, have you thought about Nano? Did you look at Stellar Lumens for your balance sheet because it is faster? It has more transactions, and it's like, yeah, they know that, but no one really cares about those coins. It's because it's Bitcoin. Anyway. And then on top of that, I mean, there was very, very little price news, which actually kind of surprised me. It says Litecoin coils within a zone awaiting a breakout. Sure, every coin is awaiting a breakout. I don't think they're awaiting a fall, if you kind of want to say that. I assume everyone is waiting for their coins to kind of pick it up when it comes to prices. But it's just a very like lull period, if you will, right now. I still think or assume normally the market is waiting for Bitcoin to have some type of a significant move, and then everything else kind of moves with it. But luckily for us, the entire cryptocurrency market, especially when you go into a cryptocurrency exchange, is also tied to Ethereum as a trading pair. So if Ethereum does extremely well, the entire altcoin market will also do well as well. And yeah, so anyway, that's all the price news. There was nothing else. There was no random stuff. There was no other weird articles about this coin might be doing so and so. That was it. And without further ado, let's move on. In price correction news, and I give you air quotes for those of you who did not see my sarcasm. There's so much in the news right now. It is about 20%. And it's not even a bear. It's like a rabid bear who's like lost part of its hair, has one eye open, is just really trying to struggle and fight. There are, and there's about 2 or 3 people within the space, but the amount of articles that they have written about them have kind of, I'm like, why are you giving this person so much attention? There's one person who said that Bitcoin is going to fall back to $20,000. Sure, why not? Whatever you believe. There was another person who said that we must retest $30,000. I think these people are insane. It's the same exact thing. Remember last year, for those of you who were not here, and I know I say that phrase a lot, it's simply because I know that there's so many new people watching. I have to phrase it in this way, so it's simply not, I'm not just saying something and you're like, well, I don't know what the heck this guy's saying. Last year, we had a situation where I think Bitcoin, yes, we fell back down to $3,000. That was the beginning of, everything that kind of went insane last year around March. Stock markets fell, Bitcoin fell back down to 3,000. As we started ticking back up in price like a day and a half later, I think a month or so, I don't know the exact time frame, Bitcoin ended up hitting, I think, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. And there were so many analysts, air quotes, in the cryptocurrency space who kept on saying that Bitcoin needed to retest $2,000 once again. And I said, why does Bitcoin have to fall by $12,000 to match your ridiculous chart to show that we're in a healthy market? I assume that a healthy market is the entire world panics collectively. Got it. We fall down to 3,000 and then we move back up to 14,000. That seems like a pretty big test. Like that was kind of the test of the century. It's, one in every 100 years kind of test. And I think we did pretty well. Long story short, this Peter Brandt article is rolling around the hills, basically explaining to people that the dips that we have been seeing, it says very mild historically. He's basically talking about, and I've been seeing it as well. I understand. Now listen, the fact that Bitcoin is not $100,000 is very frustrating to me because I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of waiting because I know that we should be there already. There's no indication that we should not have gone this far, especially with the amount of data and the amount of interest and adoption that we've been seeing for Bitcoin. But the idea that we have to go back down is absolutely insane. Or the fact that so many people, terrified. That people have been really mortified by the fact that Bitcoin was at, 64,000 and fell back down to 50,000. But it's also kind of like the new market syndrome. A lot of people have heard for years about Bitcoin on TV, but they tend to only hear one of two things. Bitcoin fell by 9,000 bajillion %, or Bitcoin is up by 9,000 bajillion %. There's never really any in between. People have heard that it's volatile before, but they don't really understand what volatility actually means. It's not stock market volatility. It's not the prices dropping by 2, 3, 4%. And everyone go, oh my gosh, I can't believe. No, it's like we fall by 15, 16%. Everyone holds their breath, and then we finally see the price start moving back up. And that's just how the cryptocurrency market is. So this is why, we used to have days where Bitcoin would drop by 25% and raise by 38%. This was a very normal thing many years ago. So these little drops of 5, 6, 7% and raises, but even the raises are very, very slow. Anyway, I decided to have the Peter Brandt one on the screen, as opposed to the other people who are mimicking from last year. I don't know what's wrong with these people who keep saying that, or keep thinking. Why? Tell me exactly why you believe that Bitcoin needs to drop back down to 20,000 to show you that Bitcoin is healthy. Maybe the hundreds of companies who are adopting Bitcoin and people putting it on their balance sheets and they're adopting it for this and so on, and all the companies buying it. Maybe that's healthy enough, but you need to see Bitcoin completely collapse in price for your stupid charts. Okay, anyway, that's the Peter Brandt news, and I'm glad that this came out because the last 4 days there's been a lot of Bitcoin's going back down to $4, and it's I'm not sure what planet you're living on, but it's definitely not Earth. Anyway, that's that news, and let's move on. Also, in a very weird trend, I'm going to show you a couple of things, and this is why it's kind of weird. For some reason, Charles Hoskinson has been in the news a lot, the last week. It's actually been even more than a week. But I read a couple of things this morning, and I was like, what's going on here? So, mega long story short, Charles Hoskinson is in the news for some reason every day, addressing something, and it's more like a why kind of thing. Why is he? It's not why is he talking about these things, but why is everyone reporting on the fact that he said something about something? For instance, it says Charles Hoskinson underlines what is not normal for markets. Sure, why not? Charles Hoskinson hits back after Ethereum influencer calls Cardano a scam. Why do you care what someone who's an influencer for Ethereum says about your coin? If your coin is that amazing, you're like, I almost put a finger up, you know which finger, but that's just kind of, it's who cares what these people have to say about your product? It says why the crypto market could face a crackdown, says Cardano's inventor. This one says Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson on upcoming crypto regulations. This one says, why Cardano's Hoskinson's called proof of work a road to nowhere. You see what I'm talking about? This all the last couple of days. Maybe he's just like not busy. Maybe he has a lot more to do. Maybe he's been giving like 15 interviews. I'm not really sure. But everyone keeps talking about what Hoskinson is saying, and it's kind of like, sure, why not? Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson predicts Dogecoin's massive collapse. Cardano's Hoskinson slams, and there's a person slamming a door with steam coming out of their head because that's what humans do. Slams Dogecoin for lacking utility, says price is being manipulated by whales. I feel like maybe he's just been really available for interviews the last couple of days. And this is only some of them. There were like 38 other ones, like random things like about like Bitcoin's energy consumption and how much these pairs of shoes cost and why you shouldn't be going to the beach. He didn't say those things, but I mean, sure. I mean, anyway, that's all the Charles Hoskinson news. I'm sure there's going to be more later. Anyway, alrighty. Let's move on. Next up, also wow, this was more popular than I thought it had to be. And there's also a typo in here for those of you looking at the screen. Yes, there's meant to be a dot there. The latest episode of Rich Dad Radio Show with Robert Kiyosaki, which was released earlier today, featured an interview with Robert Breedlove. Okay. Founder and CEO of Parallax Digital, who explained why he believes Bitcoin will be worth over $12.5 million by 2031. That's why I said typo, because I saw 125 million and I was like, and then I looked up here and it said 12.5 million. I said, oh, okay. All right. Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody should know what that is. Yada, yada, yada. He talks about 19 and how terrible money printing is. Breedlove made, yep, I said that correctly. Breedlove, wow. Made this bold prediction during his chat with Kiyosaki by saying, going into the year 2031, I would expect the U.S. money supply to expand from $20 trillion today to about $500 trillion in the next 10 years. I expect global M2 expanded roughly 12x from around 100 trillion to around 1.25 trillion to a 1.25 quadrillion. And the difference there is a lot of weaker international currencies will have collapsed into the dollar. So the dollar will actually have grown in purchasing power overall. And I think by this time, so going into 2031, let's say Bitcoin will have continued to grow. Of course, if they're printing that much money, all that money is going to be flowing into Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin, it said it will have played out another one of those. I don't think the dollar is going to, price cycles. Possibly its price cycle will have broken and it's just gone into a long, slow grind upwards as people realize it's a game of accumulation. I hope people know that already. I think a lot of people don't understand. Remember this thing that we had 2 years ago, and it was called stacking sats, and I hated saying it. I hate HODL. I hate, oh gosh, what's the other one? Oh, there's another one that they tried to do. Oh gosh, it was some other like variation of letters that looked so stupid on the screen. It was like or something like that. Like they tried to like reverse stack. It was something completely dumb. And I hated the term stacking sat simply because there was a comma at the end of the N, so it was stacking as opposed to stacking, but it also just, I didn't care for the sound of it. Anyway, so the idea was back then that in the future, we would start talking about things in Satoshis. As Bitcoin's price continues to rise and it becomes relatively impossible to buy an entire Bitcoin, therefore we would be talking about Satoshis. This is why I usually always say the idea is, from these other investors, do your own research, that having 1 million Satoshis is kind of the thing people want to aim for. But I forgot my entire point. I was rambling so long about the whole stack and sats thing. Anyway, so it definitely is an accumulation game for those of you who are wondering. And the news is that someone who believes in Bitcoin says the price is going to be over 12.5 million. I think if we get any indication that a $1 million Bitcoin is like really going to happen, I think Bitcoin will be well far above 12.5 million by 2031, because a $1 million Bitcoin indicates that tons of other world currencies have collapsed. And that we have the first inkling. No, even then, we already have it. We already have countries who are using Bitcoin and are mining it, and this is why it's a little weird that 100,000. Anyway, that's the Bitcoin price prediction, rich Bitcoin, poor altcoin news. All right, I'm going to move on because this got awkward really fast. Next up, I don't know what that is. It's like an Olympian dancing on a circuit board holding a Bitcoin ball. On-chain analyst William Clement III, that is a very fancy name, is revealing that the quantity of Bitcoin held for relatively long-term periods is increasing in a new tweet. Clement told 26,000 people on Twitter that the surge in the number of non-moving Bitcoin is likely due to institutional investors' unwillingness to sell. Surprise! He said the amount of non-moving Bitcoin supply in cold storage or custody last moved or purchased 3 to 6 months ago has grown 2.5 million Bitcoin. Wow. It's risen by 2.5 million Bitcoin in a 3 to 6 month period. Most likely institutions that bought in the last 3 to 6 months and aren't selling. And there's a chart right there. So a lot of people are still kind of surprised that people are buying Bitcoin and not selling it. Once again, we're having indications from, and I'm not going to even say the numbers because I saw people getting a little peeved that I keep saying these numbers out loud, so I'll just say it this way. We keep getting indications from very large institutions and banking conglomerations, not a word, who keep saying that Bitcoin could potentially in the future be quite high in price. And therefore, if this trend continues by the year 2040 X something or other, we could have a $50 million plus Bitcoin. Now, here's the kicker. The idea is if you buy low, you have tons of money later on. So this appears to be the reason why they're buying now and holding for the long term. Logic. See how it just makes a lot of sense? So now I'm not making fun of this guy at all, like in any remote way. It's just more of like of a, when I indicate that it could be good for you in the future to potentially look as if you could or should be adding Bitcoin to your portfolio, do your own research, it might be quite lucrative for you and your future offspring's offspring if you are holding said asset. Simply because... Anyway, that's the 2.5 million Bitcoin. Do you understand how much that... Okay. Anyway. Hint, it's a lot of Bitcoin. And that's just from institutions. Because think about you and your friends. I'm like, You're also all buying Bitcoin. It may just be fragments of Bitcoin, but those fragments add up very quickly into entire Bitcoins that are also never going to go back onto the market. Because we can already buy everything with Bitcoin. The more companies that keep coming forward saying that they're going to be accepting Bitcoin, well, you never have to cash out. Anybody thought about that? Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on. Next up, Mayor Scott Conger of Jackson, Tennessee, has plans to begin using cryptocurrency within the city. You heard that correct. The mayor also said that the city is exploring giving its employees the option to be paid in crypto. You heard that correctly as well as mining Bitcoin and keeping it on the city's balance sheet. This is about the 8th U.S. city who has announced something like this. He said, "What does the future of cryptocurrency look like for the city of Jackson? We're exploring payroll conversions for our employees. Even more exciting, we're seriously exploring mining Bitcoin to add to our balance sheet." I don't even have to read anymore. That's incredible. This will eventually happen everywhere. And I mean, the entire planet's going to be this way. However, it's just kind of cool when people realize beforehand, hey, maybe we should be getting into this because it's the future kind of thing. Anyway, so like I said, I didn't even have to read anymore. Here's the actual tweet for it right here. Everything I just said, I don't even have to reread it. So, all right. That's kind of cool. I'm waiting for the next US city to announce it next week because they keep doing it over and over. So These will be some of the richest cities on the planet in the future. If you think I'm joking, I'm not. Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on. Next up, and of course this is the logical next step, and this is how you accumulate more Bitcoin. New York-based Signature Bank will soon start offering its crypto clients Bitcoin-backed cash loans. Executives revealed in an earnings call on Wednesday. The bank joins its rival Silvergate, which has been offering Bitcoin-backed loans since June of last year, and crypto lending startups including Genesis, BlockFi, and Unchained Capital. The move shows an appetite for crypto collateralized loans from banks that have more stable funding sources, FDIC-insured deposits, and tougher underwriting standards for the startups. And they mentioned somewhere around here that they plan on only offering this to their creme de la creme clients because they don't want anybody defaulting on their loans. But crypto loans, why do I say crypto loans? Crypto loans are going to be a major thing. They are already absolutely massively, I'm not going to tell you why this is huge. You should understand the significance of anyone choosing to use Bitcoin over the US dollar or anything else, why that is significant. Once again, the US dollar being the world reserve currency and Bitcoin being the gigantic contender in the ring. Anyway. I always want to say things, but I know they'll sound insane, and I'm not sure if I can even say these things on YouTube. A lot of times people are like, bro, just say it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'd rather, Anyway, that's the Silvergate Bitcoin loans news. Moving on. Also wow, this was way too popular because who cares? The Deutsche Börse Group has said it will delist Coinbase stock listing on its extra digital stock exchange, as well as the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Okay, according to Reuters, Deutsche Börse said it would delist Coinbase Global from the two exchanges due to missing reference data. Now, please always tell me if I am missing something or tell me if I'm just being ridiculous for saying these things. However, we live in the currently the year 2021. If you're missing data, wouldn't it make sense to just simply re-add that data or add it in the first place as opposed to having to delist something? It's kind of like, imagine if a cryptocurrency exchange listed Bitcoin. Weird hypothetical because they all have Bitcoin, but stay with me. Someone adds Bitcoin, but instead of the BTC letters for it, it says like 12X. And they go, oh no, we got to delist Bitcoin. Why are you delisting Bitcoin? Just change the letters to BTC on your platform. Say, hey, we need an hour to update something, and then you kind of do it. So the German stock exchange is going to be delisting Coinbase for missing reference data for the shares. The group said someone involved in listing the Coinbase shares used an incorrect legal entity identifier or LEI code, so change it. In that time, see that pause? That 3-second pause? They could have changed it. The code is a regulatory requirement for any companies participating in financial transactions. Unless Coinbase or Deutsche Börse takes action, the stock will no longer be listed on Extra or the Frankfurt Stock Exchange at the beginning or the end of trading on Friday. The group added the measures would continue until further notice. I feel like there's a simple solution for this. I wonder why. So one of the things that I've typically had a problem with my entire life, and I thought this would have changed. Was there ever something when you were a kid that you thought would have changed as you got older, or you saw like a problem as a kid, and you just assumed by the time you were in your 20s, they would have gotten it together. By the time you're in your 30s, they would have been like, all right, yeah, like this is, we've smoothed out the issue. I always felt like things moved so slow as a kid. And I mean, that's for everything. That's for legislation. That's for rule changing. That's for economics. Like, everything is always at a very slow snail's pace. And I understand that you can't move too fast or it's going to break the system. But even that, I also don't agree with. Everything moves so slow. And it's like, it's kind of the same exact way that, like, why aren't stock exchanges open 24 hours a day? Like, we know that we know that the cryptocurrency market functions just fine being open 24 hours a day. Why aren't stock exchanges? It's not even that people go to sleep. Like, people go to sleep in the cryptocurrency markets as well. Now, I'm rambling on here, but it's just because I have a lot on my mind. Like, if you're missing data, wouldn't it make if you Coinbase has been listed on stock exchanges around the world for about a good week and some change. Somebody in an office looked at their computer and were like, oh gosh, they're missing the LEI data. We got to delist it. Wouldn't it just make sense to call up Coinbase or one of their associates or somebody and be like, hey, we're missing this data. Can you please give it to us right now? Can you email it to us? Can you take a photo with your phone and tell us exactly what data we're missing? Okay, cool. I just received it. Okay, thank you. We're going to add it in right now. Why does the public have to know this? Why is this so long and drawn out? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I always feel, kind of crazy when I think these things. It's like, there was a couple years ago, there was this, I don't know what city this was in. There was an area where it was basically, like that really like wavy hill in San Francisco. It wasn't in San Francisco, this place, but they had a situation where it was this long hill that people had to go down, and it was basically like an S-curve. And part of the problem is that a lot of older residents lived in this area, and it was very difficult for them to have to go through this entire thing. It took minutes and minutes and minutes for them to actually walk down. I think they were trying to walk down the hill or to the beach. I don't know exactly where it was. What ended up happening was that a local carpenter got together some wood. He built a staircase, a beautiful, beautiful staircase. I think it took him like a day to do the entire thing by himself. And people used this staircase for a week. It was perfect. It was wonderful. Everyone thanked him. They said, thank you so much. And then the local city council came, destroyed the staircase that he built. It was a fun, like, it wasn't a rickety, like you're walking on it, like, oh gosh, am I going to fall and break a hip? It's like, no, like, it was proper. He was a well-known carpenter. He built it. It was nice. They destroyed it and said that they had to vote on when they would actually build one that was created by the city. And it's like, it's already there. Why destroy it? And I think even when I think they finally came to a conclusion and came to a so-and-so and found the company who would be able to build it, they showed the before and after. The after looked terrible. And I think the city itself had to spend like $100,000 just on actual legislation, signing papers, getting stuff notarized, hiring the company, having them do it and take a week and a half to build it. And it's like, why is everything so slow? Everything is so slow around the world. Like, it's also the same exact thing. Remember the first stimulus checks that were going out, and one of the proposals was, well, we can, oh gosh, what was it? It was like, yeah, people have to get like an actual physical check in the mail to get their stimulus check. What was the other thing? It was like, most people don't have bank accounts or access to financial so-and-sos. So let's have them get a code, go to their local post office, open up a bank account there. And it's like, and then that's when Square, or it was Jack Dorsey or somebody, they were like, hey, if anyone has a smartphone, they can just download the app and the US can wire their money to our thing and everyone can have instant access to it. It would take no more than a couple of hours. Why did it? One of the news stories that we got, I believe in April or May, when they were first talking about stimulus checks, I think that it was going to take like 4 or 5 months for people to receive them. For what? Why does everything take so long? Why is the system so slow and clunky? I'm sorry for the rambling on here, but does anyone else agree with me? Like, I feel like I'm always going crazy. We know where all this stuff is going. We know exactly where technology is moving. It's like in the very beginning when the internet first arrived, there were so many companies and countries who did not want to have internet. Can you imagine where they would be? How stupid they would look? Can you imagine going anywhere and being like, you guys have Wi-Fi? Why, what? Oh, no, we don't have the internet here. What do you have? We have newspapers and we have maps. We have, old physical calculators with the really big buttons on them. It's very, very odd. I don't understand it. Is it maybe fear of things moving too fast? Is it just, this is all from me reading about this one stock exchange delisting Coinbase, but it's so stupid. There's so many, why have these? Anyway, I'm sure my brain could find about 85 other things that make me really annoyed, but I feel, and I mean this honestly, I feel like if we just did stuff when we knew they had to be done, or doing them in a one-day manner, we'd be so much further ahead as an entire society, as opposed to waiting 4 years for things. What are you doing? Oh boy, it's frustrating. Anyway, that's the Coinbase news. I really hope that somebody watching this is part of this German stock exchange group and was like, oh, I could have just called them. Why did this news have to hit the public? You didn't have their phone number? Their email? All right. And to finish things off, the crypto industry has gained a lot of exposure in recent months as regulators worldwide hasten to... They're hastening it because people are making too much money. That's the only reason why. If you're ever confused as to why regulators are doing anything, it's money. It's always money. It's money on top of money. Maybe that even answers my last question. Maybe if you get someone to build the stairs for free, no one in the city gets any money. None of these city's workers, the higher ups, the actual people writing the laws, they don't get a cut. Maybe I just answered my own question. It's absolutely terrible. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission, also known as ASIC, which I laughed when I first read that, if you know what ASICs are, has expressed its desire to support the local crypto industry, noting the challenges associated with regulating innovative technologies. Australian regulators are keen on supporting the crypto industry by putting out proper regulations. Bitcoin has risen a lot in price. I don't even have to read all this. The point is, they said that they want to put out nice regulations to make sure that everyone knows what's going on, and just do it. Just do it. Just stop. Just do it. Do it right now. Do it right now. Today. Make the regulations. What's the point of waiting? What exactly are you waiting for? If you are afraid that the cryptocurrency industry could or is definitely going to take over, give us the exact same banking rules. Give us the exact same AMC, AML, KYC rules, the same as banks have or financial institutions, and then let's move on. Let's have a situation where you just give us what we know you're going to give us. It's the same exact thing with the Bitcoin ETF. What are you waiting for? Not Australia in specifically. The US, what are you waiting for? It takes 7 years for you to sign a document for us to have a Bitcoin ETF. What's the point of the Australian Securities and Exchange Commission to tell us publicly that this news has to come out and say, yeah, we're thinking of regulating it. Just do it. Do it right now. Do it today. What are you waiting for? Same exact thing in India. Since 2017, they've been talking about giving crypto regulations. Do you not know how to regulate markets? You've been regulating your country's markets for I don't know how long. It takes 3 years? Am I going crazy? Is it just me? It can't just be me. I think it's impossible at this point. It's impossible. What is actually going on? Because the moment that we actually have proper cryptocurrency regulations, something else is going to come along that's also going to have to be regulated, and it's going to take another 5 years. Now listen, I'm not happy or grateful. I don't honestly care. I think it cool that the Australian SEC is, or SISABC, I don't really care, is going to regulate the cryptocurrency space in a fair manner. I assume so. But just do it. Just do it. What are you waiting for? Do we all have to wait until June 2022 for you to have a draft of the cryptocurrency industry looking exactly like the banking sector? And then after that draft is drafted, you're going to have a vote on it for the stuff that you know that you're already going to push through. And then by April 2023, it'll finally have gone through. But for the last 2.5 years, people within your country in that industry had no proper regulations, had no real idea what they could or should have done, especially when it comes to taxation and other securities laws. And then your country is 2.5 years behind when you could have just written something and push it out there. Even for the moment, just say the crypto industry is under the exact same laws as the banking industry. Just say that out loud. Until further notice, you are under the exact same rules. When you sign up for a cryptocurrency exchange, same as a bank, we got to know your name, we got to know where you live. If you are transferring more than $10,000 at one point in a cryptocurrency exchange, got to know your name, got to know where you live. What is this? It drives me crazy. And I felt this way since I was a child. Like, I noticed this at a very young age. The slowness of everything. When you were a kid, did you ever think, I don't know how to put it into words. I used to think, I mean, we were also kids, that adults were like these hyper intelligent beings that, like, whenever there was a problem or something on TV, or if there was like crime or something in the area, I used to always think like, wow, I can't wait till there's no more crime. Because, I assumed there was like a problem that had a very easy fix, which it does, which it did. But no one fixes it. It's like these little patches. It's like bleeding profusely. And someone's like, here's the Band-Aid. Here's another Band-Aid. I still have 98 other holes, ma'am. All right. Come back next week for another Band-Aid. All right. I think I'm done rambling because I could definitely keep going on. I wonder about the world. I wonder about so many things. It's just like building a gigantic building is one thing. That's going to take time. But for very simple things, just do it. It's kind of like, anyway, I think I'm done because we could be here for a whole hour and some change just of me explaining to you how stupid the world is and how quick things should be so much quicker across the board for everything. And I don't even mean like shipping and stuff like that. I mean, just like in general, we should be at least about 60, 70 years ahead as a society. People are still using Swift. Swift is a messaging system that was created in the 1970s. There are people sending money. You know how quickly you can copy and paste a book on your phone, and you can send that to a friend in a text or an email. It'll get to them, I say, no more than 25 seconds because of the length of the entire book. But I'm trying to send $16 to my friend on Friday at 7 p.m. It takes until Monday morning for them to begin to process that. And even then, if you're lucky, if you're sending $16 internationally, it may take 4 or 5 days. Do you understand how stupid that is? That's one of the things that really always like drives me completely insane. We know that Bitcoin's going to make it. We know that Bitcoin's going to win. What question is there in the minds of people who are trying to send money around the world? It must just be fear. You know for a fact right now, your mother in X country needs money. Send her Bitcoin. You don't feel comfortable with Bitcoin? Send her a stable coin. She's going to get it in about 8 seconds. And it's the exact same amount of money that you wanted to send, and your fee is about 2 cents. Why is anyone still using MoneyGram or Western Union or any other slow platform like that? Why do people still put up with the fact that it takes days to send money through the old system? Is it that we've just become so used to this sluggish behavior of the entire world? We see crazy things happen in the world and we go, we got to wait 5 years for that to be fixed. The average human life is maybe, if we're lucky, around 70 years. That's so... I think I'm done. I'm going to end the video because Yeah. All right. Let's just move on, because I really can continue with this for a very long time, because it's something that really sticks in my. Okay, I'm starting up again. All right. Right. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. I could have really gone on for like an hour because this world is stupid. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Umnu, Wish Nikki, the letter M, Stefan, Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos was like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shasho, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren De Silva, Corded Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy, All Good, Space Case. Need a miracle. I need one as well. Please just send me, logic. Crypto Stahl, Paternoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banano, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman, High XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, the Animarita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moham Rodi, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cooldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie, Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Mailer, His Chest, Everyday, and Calskip's Leg Day, Yes to Crypto. I got it right. Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, March Gunner Staff, Arfmaday 17, Bake Me a Cake. I always feel like there are two cakes. One cake? I always feel like whenever I say bake me a cake, I always feel like this, like I've said that before. It's really weird. Bake me a cake. Tigera Machanisa on Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a new Patreon member. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who is a commenter. Thank you to everyone who left a like. I do appreciate all of them, and it does indeed help with the algorithm. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently down by 3.7%. Ethereum is up by 6.5%. And many of the other coins, if not all the other coins since I started the video, are actually in the red right now. They were not before, but now they are. The reddest is Dogecoin, is down by 20%. It's at 26 cents, which is still extremely high because the coin was half of a penny a couple of months ago. Everything is red. Solana is up by 15%. Uniswap is up by 14%. I assume Pancake. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Maker is up by 28%. Pancake is actually down by 3%. I just assume, it's a pancake day, so pancakes were going to be up. Ethereum Classic is up by 1.85%. And everything else is in the red, except for Compound. Compound is up by 13.18%. Tile as well. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm completely done. I think we'll get there one day, but it's going to take a heck of a long time for the world to actually act as it should act. And I hope it doesn't take another 300 or 400 years. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.